All right. Late today. Oh, starting up. I was kind of beating myself up between streams. Just, I understand the meta of this game, but the meta of this game, this whole streaming thing, is, you keep talking, don't let any empty spaces. And also stream for a really long time, stream really consistently. And I really struggle with consistency. That's like the hardest thing in the world is consistency. And that's one of the main factors in this metagame, right? This streaming, getting attention, cultivating a following. But I guess I'll have to do it wrong. So I added meditation onto the list of tags or whatever. So we're just gonna allow more space, and if people don't want to stick around, that's okay. Go find someone more entertaining, right? Someone more consistent, right? Like I've been following Thor from Pirate Software a lot lately, right? He's a really good inspiration. He's got tons of good advice, but also he's not me, right? I am not him. Um, you know, and that's okay too, right? Like Wreck-It Ralph, that scene where all the villains are like, I'm not okay, and that's okay, or I'm something about being the villain, right? So I got my extra chocolatey hot chocolate right here. No caffeine because I'm old and I need to stop drinking caffeine after a certain amount of time in the day. But yeah, we are gonna keep trying. Maybe take a break from Raptor Ranger. Maybe go back to it. I'm not 100% certain. Um, Yesterday I quit before the 4-hour mark. I failed yesterday. Right? Today I already am off on the wrong foot, 15 minutes late. Right? So, what does all this mean? This means nothing. Right? There's no one watching. And I don't need people to watch. I'm okay. I was okay without doing any of this stuff. I'm choosing to do this stuff. I can slow down. I can put a little bit less burden on my shoulders. Just sit and be quiet. Make sure that's okay. I think it's okay. Let's see. Just where is... What are we doing? What are we doing? Just playing around with death and stuff. We're gonna take a break from Raptor Ranger. Move these cords around. Maybe bring you in a little closer. Get me in focus. Okay. Alright. I installed the plugin to stream multi-stream, so I'll be streaming on YouTube also soon, but you have to wait like a 24-hour, 48-hour thing, so I can't do it yet. I gotta like sign up or something. I don't know. I didn't read all the stuff. That needs to be hotter. It's not hot enough. Have some cold water instead. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so my goal is to be here right now. My ultimate goal. Right, so I am here, I am now. And accept that moment as, here, I need to just close this. I need to not look at that. Yeah, that's gonna help, I think. Yeah, well, do I need an extra BRB? Let's see. That's chatting. Swaps that. Is this what we do when we meditate? Do we get a close-up of my face? I think that's less conductive, probably, right? All you need is me, perhaps some pretty pictures, right? So let's, not you, down here. Let's look at you. Drop back here, ninja working. Ninja working is nice. I'm very excited to start level designing for this game. I'm a little unmotivated to keep working on this one. It's not bad, but it's, so I think what I'm gonna do, I was thinking about it a lot, and I'm probably gonna do two, let's do that right now. Let's play around with what we were thinking about. I'm not sure I like that our protagonist is kind of a different scale than, right? So the hat is actually 2 pixels shorter on each side, same height and everything. The arm is also not quite the gun, or if that's even, but at that point, right? Does he look like a giant and he looks like a dwarf? Some hobbit? He is some sort of weird avian jockey, right? Jockeys are pretty small. Perhaps. Can you feel the depression in my voice? I'm in a pretty good depression right now. And by good, I mean it's there. Um, brush. Oh, why are you? Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, so life doesn't have the taste that I often like it to have right now. I'm not motivated to do things right now. Slow and thoughtful. Yeah, more contemplative. Less excited, right? It's okay. Just accept these feelings as though you chose them. Welcome them into yourself. And just breathe. You just gotta keep breathing. That's the weird meta for this game. It's a life game. You just keep breathing. And yeah, that's all. Right? Except that you can't avoid all suffering. Except that your habit is to try. Except that nothing you make will be good enough. It's not. It's not good enough. I don't like it yet. I kind of like the head on this one better. Kind of like everything on this one better still. I don't think I want to convey all that lighting information though. Like this is very simply rendered. There's really no lighting information outside of the hat and the chin. And our rider, his colors are kind of depth based, right? The lighter you go, the more forward, right? His arm. Let's see, let's hide. So here's the reality of our Raptor Ranger. He's got his arm and his hand, and these are slightly, they're not the same color as this skin, right? This skin is shadowed. These are not. But it's still much darker than the bird, right? So yeah, and the guns are level at each other, right? That's kind of what we wanted for a little while. He was a little too high, this was a little too low. I may still want to make the guns the same, right? I may want one of these. Let's see. I don't know if I tried. See, I don't know if I like that as much as that. But the same thing with enemies. Oh, there. It doesn't feel quite right, right? Maybe he needs to be a little short, but then the guns need. Analyze, analyze, analyze. Critique, critique, critique. Criticize, criticize, criticize. Sit and enjoy Ninja. Ninja Runner. Not Ninja Runner, there's a game called Ninja Runner. This is Ninja and the Quest for the Jade Statue, in case you were wondering. It's going to be our second game. John Mark's working hard on the first game, of which I finished all the assets for in like 2 days. This only took me a couple days, well, maybe a couple weeks if you count just sitting and staring at it and making small adjustments. This let's see. This is quite gratifying because it's not that many or it's not that many tiles to make all this variation, which maybe it's not a lot of variation, but it's a pretty good amount of variation for just these things. None of this was, well, I do want to do train track, right? These tracks I love. I'm pretty happy with the tracks. So we will have, I could do, what could I do? I could do a cart. Cart is gonna do damage. Just avoid what I'm struggling with for now. Back to Raptor, make sure we're on brush. Just a little bit of highlight. Do we use it for line? I don't think so. But maybe a bit here. Or maybe that's going back. the whole thing like the wing. Ain't no thing but a wang. So dumb. I don't like it, but I don't hate it. Yeah, really unmotivated. I really don't want to do stuff. Depression. Don't enjoy. I tried playing games yesterday while I was on stream and it felt like homework. It felt like being back in school and having to do homework. Trying to. I gotta do stuff. I gotta do things. Gotta keep going. It's hard, huh? It can be hard. Is this what he looks like? Where do I have art, death stuff, run, okay, open. Oh, no, I gotta import, so file, import sprite sheet, select file, run, open. Okay. Looks like it's done it. Import. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Too many. Whoop, whoop, whoop. See, there's too much drag. Oh, maybe that's part of it. Because there's this one right there. How do I keep doing that? There's a way to make those disappear. And so when I'm clicking around, they disappear randomly, and it's the worst. It's the worst feature. 1, 2. Okay, so 1, 2. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of you. No, we're gonna get rid of you. Okay, then we're gonna right click on you, go back to kind of fast. Okay, so I need to fix this then. Okay, can I grab all of you? And do that? No. Just gotta do it one at a time, I guess. Save. No, wait. File. Export sprite sheet. Output file. Sprite default run. Sprite default run. 1, 2, 3, 4. Strip 8. Strip 8 is what I need. Oh, and make sure you're a PNG. Okay. Okay. So we're making progress. We're tinkering. We're doing work. Oh, save. Oh, cancel. Don't save. I might regret. No, I say I exported it is what I wanted. So why don't I have that in here? Let's open Control A. Oh, so that's wrong. That's cute, but it's wrong. Oh, go up here, art, death and stuff, and we need to get rid of you. Default, how is default looking? No, don't put default in there, put default in here. Looks like I did the pushback, and I also did a jump and a stand. So sprite default, this is I think what I want. Let's see, put you in the working. Character default, there we go. There we go. And these guys can just be extra. Oh, goodness. Is it break time yet? Is it time for a break? Been here 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Need to heat up my hot chocolate. That's an excuse to get up and move, right? So we got that guy. Got our basic guy. Can we do a rat? Do we want to do a... We need to do a rat. Or we could do a ton of variations of this same guy. But I don't know if that's the actual... It's difficult. I don't know if streaming is conducive to creativity, because creativity requires so much silence. And that's why I need to let go of the meta. I just need to stream to no one. Just this is like a video diary. And maybe my video diary is full of self-lamentation and meditation. Just overwhelming myself. And then self-soothing maybe? Learning to self-soothe? I don't know. My bot didn't show up today. Not even my bot is in chat. Let's see. Let's see. What if we do uptime? Okay. Angry Helper. There's Angry Helper. Okay, Angry Helper is here. 43 minutes. Not counting. Oh, hey, and it shows up on... I forgot that I have that. I don't like it. It's not... Well, I don't know what it looks like full screen. I'm looking at it on OBS. Go to this. And we are going to do that. There. There. Got rid of that. I need a, let's make a copy. Duplicate. Mid break. Imberk. Quiet. I'll name you Quiet. And here I want, if I change you, it's going to change all of them, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to Control C, Control V, and get rid of you. Delete, 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 delete. Okay, let's be right back. Be right back is still there. And now let's change. Dang it, see, it's right on. It's on both. It's on both. Be right back. Wherever it was there for a reason. Down up there? I don't know. Be right back. Paste reference or paste duplicate. There we go. Maybe that's what I did wrong. So meditate, medit. How do you even spell meditation? I'm too dumb. Meditation. That doesn't look right. Meditation. Break. Meditation break. Okay. And then we will. And we're gonna get rid of you. And make sure, okay, okay, quiet. Is that how you spell meditation? I'm gonna double check. I'm so dumb. How can I not know how to spell a word that I have seen a million times? Why does that look weird? It's not. It's not wrong. Why does that look wrong? So just relax. Close your eyes or keep your eyes open. Feel what your senses are telling you. Feel what your inner feelings are telling you. With no need to do anything about any of it. Just witness it. Acknowledge it. Maybe welcome it as though you wanted it to be here, even though you probably didn't. Our feelings come and go, whether we want them to or not. And when we have feelings, those feelings want reason. And so we find reasons. And we think those reasons are why we're having the feelings. But if you sit quietly long enough, perhaps you'll discover, as I've discovered, that it's actually the feeling that precedes the thoughts, and those thoughts reinforce the feeling. I'm watching a lot of Dr. K lately. Not a whole lot, right? He's right. Like I'm the one I just watched was saying don't binge watch all this stuff, right? Watch and then take a break, reflect. And that's what I do, right? You said pause when you get to a point that sounds like that's going to be useful, right? And I do pause. How do I know these things? I look inside myself and see. It's the Tao Te Ching, Book of the Way. The way that can be told is not the eternal way. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. Maybe we even remove that. Maybe we don't even look at our art. As silly as it is, as unmeta as it is, as counterproductive to the game that I'm playing. If I sat here in silence for 4 hours, that would be a victory. Right? Not for the Twitch game, not for the streaming game, not for the attention grabbing, you know, uh, attention grabbing, community cultivating game that I'm playing, right? I'm trying to get attention so the things that I make get attention, right? So they don't just get buried in the heaps of content, right? That's what I'm doing. I'm broadcasting myself despite my fears, despite my the warning self-preservative warning signs, right? Like don't put yourself out in public. Putting yourself out in public makes you a target potentially, right? If and you can suffer from success in so many ways, you know, is are my creations worth those risks? Probably not, right? So why am I doing this? Doing it because part of me is compelled to do it. Part of me is here compelled to do it the wrong way. I sit here with a blank screen. I'm here in the corner of the screen, not even, we could be doing the chatting, right? But no, we're gonna do meditation break screen. The weird meditation break screen where meditation looks like it's spelled wrong even though it's not. Does that just always, is my brain meditation station? I don't know. Oh, the mind drifts. It drifts in, drifts out. It drifts up. It drifts down. This universe is infinitely big, infinitely small, infinitely in, infinitely out. Oh, it's so overwhelming. So yeah, I have mental health, ADHD, and now meditation under my streaming tags. And my description says burnt out dev slash gamer dad. Because these are me admitting my fears. It's me getting my faults out in the open. These are the things that make me feel like I can't succeed. So I'm going to put them front and center. I'm not endlessly motivated. I would rather be spending time alone on my porch right now. But I'm alone right here, right? I'm alone in my room. I'm looking at a camera. I'm looking at a screen. I'm looking at an empty chat bar. And how many of us are right here doing the exact same thing, right? Trying to play the game, trying to keep the dialogue going, trying to pretend like you're talking to someone, trying to pretend like you're motivated to do any of it, trying to pretend like you don't want to just go lay down and consume a bunch of content, some easy, digestible content. And so we breathe. It's weird how all this stuff works. This streaming stuff. See if I'll bring it down here. So now I'm looking down on my Cintiq instead of over at my laptop. And you see what I'm doing? You see what I'm seeing? It's hard to read meditation break part, right? Because now it's, I don't know. I could stop the stream at any moment. Oh, you can't see that. Yeah, so stop stream. You don't see all those buttons, but yeah. Display capture. Be right back. Let's get rid of that. Delete. Be right back. Okay. Yeah, so you have these scenes. And then I have this guy, the floor scene chat. So it's got chat here. So all I had to do is mute, like, get rid of chat right here. And it got rid of chat for all of these, right? So I was doing this wrong where every time I did something, I had to adjust it on each one of my scenes. But you can make this reference scene, right? So scene underscore floor chat is the floor and the chat. And we are going to go back to quiet. Quiet. That's the name of the meditation break page that we are on. And I will get this out of the way. Get over there. That's a little better, right? Nice and dark. You wouldn't know if my screen froze or your screen froze, right? I'm not moving enough. I'm not talking enough. Too bad, huh? I'm not good enough. Darn it. Here I am doing it anyway. Because that's how you do it. You learn to accept discomfort. You learn to accept feelings of inadequacy as just features. Features of all of this. Human beings being human is what all of us are. Unless you're an AI from the future combing through old content. In which greetings. Greetings, future robot. Maybe you're a person from the future combing through lost content. Content that didn't get any attention at the time but was perhaps worthwhile to someone, right? Just because no one's listening right now doesn't mean that no one will never listen. I don't know if that one works speech-wise. English. I don't know if that's English. Ooh, it does show me dropped frames. Dang, my drop frames are bad. What's going on? FPS is good, CPU is good. Kilobytes per second is bad. But 30 frames per second is fine. Why can I do 30? Can I limit myself to 30 frames per second? That may not be that may not make some of you happy. Okay, that's not good for gaming. You're doing 30 frames a second. Animation. 30s is good. 15's great. 24, 12, 6, 3. I think that's why 24 is nicer than 30. But unless you're an animator, you have no clue what I'm doing. I'm just throwing out numbers, right? Hopefully I'm not too quiet. I've got my filters on, so hopefully when I talk quiet, it's quiet, or not quiet, and when I talk loud, it's not loud. And it's just kind of the same whether I'm talking quietly or talking loudly. Can you hear the difference? No one will know. Maybe I'll watch this VOD later and get something out of it. Oh good, my kilobytes per second has jumped back up. What can I do? I live out in the country. Wonder if I'll ever get used to talking to you instead of you. That's the thing. Like, you are chat. Chat is right here, not right here. Camera's here, but chat is right here. So if I'm sitting and reading chat, I'm gonna be looking right here, or maybe over here if I have my stream on my other computer. It's hard to keep my eyes closed, just in case someone says something I want to respond. All these things pulling me so many different ways, and so few of them pulling me in the right direction. And yet I revel and I play anyway. Right? What does it mean to be the drunken master? Right? How can you be drunken and enlightened at the same time? Many would say you can't, and yet the drunken master exists. Or maybe he did. We could see him existing quite easily. Breathing. Going back to my breath. Remembering that I'm breathing. Because I'm breathing whether I remember it or not. What an interesting phenomenon. What a useful tool. That's why I like the breath as a focus. It is very challenging for someone with ADHD. Dr. K was really encouraging Om meditation, practicing with Om. It's too attention. I was raised to be quiet as a mouse, which is funny because I'm quite loud. I don't want to risk getting attention while I'm meditating, I think is the subconscious dislike of Om. But I can Om in my head, or I can hum Om. Seems like you picked up quite a bit of that actually. Is that a weird sound? Is it gross? Or is it pleasing? I don't know. And I may not be able to find out. Well, I can. I just have to go back and watch all of this and find where it is in the thing. Hour and 6 minutes in. If I don't cut down the beginning. Oh, one habit I need better is to remember to sit up straight. Right, with the string pulling you up from the top of the head. Oh, I've got such tightness in my shoulders, in between my shoulder blades. I hold a baby all the time. He needs to be held a lot. He loves being held, and he hates not being held. He very much suffers a lot more than his sister. It's interesting how we come from different places, different paths. And here we are. If you have somehow found this video, some weird convergence of space and time, right? I made this and I recorded it and I put it out on the internet and it was on a hard drive somewhere, right? It's not actually out in the cloud. It's in some massive warehouse that's just a giant server. And you clicked play. The algorithm showed it to you. I don't know why. Maybe it didn't. Maybe you're looking for stuff that specifically no one's paid any attention to. Right? But also, I've been doing this for what, I've been doing this for not even a month, because it was Christmas, right? So it really threw up my momentum. But I was gonna lose momentum no matter what anyway, because that's what I do. Burn myself out. And I kick and scream and cry, get discouraged, pick myself back up, keep going. Again, I'm not sitting up straight. Hopefully that exhale isn't too ragged for your experience. I've just got this mic. I bought this guy, but the S's were just much too sharp. Oh, I've also got this. Can you see it? There we go. This is the original Ninja Turtles comics. The original ones. The very first one, which actually ends with them defeating Splinter. or not Splinter, Shredder. It's the whole thing. It's their intro. The movie is pretty close actually, but darker than the cartoon a little bit, right? More adult. More adult. Casey Jones. But it's also I get very inspired by mediocre stuff. And not to like diss these guys at all. This is great art, but it's also not. Right? It's masters did not make this. Just some excited guys, right? Some young people. You could call them adults, you could call them kids, right? And they're just making stuff that they think is cool. And that spawned a cartoon which really affected me, right? I am who I am partially because of the Ninja Turtles, right? I was a huge, huge Ninja Turtle fan. And the cartoons were easy enough for me to kind of draw, right? I could see that and I could say, I can draw that. I can try. I can get some green crayons together, green and yellow, and then red, blue, right? That's one problem with the comics is it's really hard to tell them apart, right? Visually, there is no way, aside from their weapons, which aren't always in view, right? Nice little tangent. So yeah, I keep that one right next to me. Doesn't have to be good to be important. Doesn't have to be good to be important. You can do it. I can do it. But also we can take breaks, right? I am not Thor, God of Thunder, leader of pirate software. Right? I'm a burnt out, sick, mentally unwell person, right? I've struggled. I've got lots of trauma. Lots of trauma. And the trauma's not gonna stop either, right? I also have a kind of a promise of future trauma with my medical condition. Right? And that's hard. Where I signed up, I seemingly signed up to this life where life pops out of the bushes and hits me with a switch, right? I don't need to sign up to a Zen monastery. I can just be alive and life will beat me randomly and for no reason. And in some way, like, I don't know, like whether I sign up for that or not, whether that's true, the belief that I did sign up for it is healthy, is helpful. I don't know if it's healthy. It seems helpful, right? Like, welcome every moment as though you chose it, even if you didn't, right? Like, Eckhart Tolle, I'm pretty sure, gave that advice, and he knows what's going on. It is rough, though, right? Like, he had a realization that woke him up so clearly that he kind of like had a year without thought, right? He was just super low energy and he's still super quiet, he's still super calm, very clear. And I knew what he figured out a long time ago and it didn't help me. I need to unknow, right? I need to unlearn. It's a lot of it and we're all different, right? It's so hard not to compare. Part of human beings being human is comparing ourselves to each other, even though that's ultimately kind of a maladaptive practice. Only if you cling to it, I guess. Tomorrow I'm gonna see what's wrong with that meditation word. Why does it look wrong to me? Meditation. My brain is just breaking. I'm an old man. My reality has become so plastic, so pliable, that I don't know what reality is anymore. I can't even spell a word that I've spelled a million times. I've Googled meditation so many times. I've put meditation into YouTube and hit search so many times. Why does that look wrong? Is it because the T's are weird? T's in the eyes? Kind of like trying to be backwards J's? Is that why? Sneaky T's and eyes? Sneaky T's? Is it that the spacing is weird between the T and the I? And there's two of them, so it's like meta-tat eon. Maybe that's what it is. Is that in my eyes, in my eye brains, my brain's eye, in my mind's eye, I think is what I was trying to say. I see medi, I see tat, and I see ion. Eon. Not ion. Ion has an E at the end, I think. I don't know. Hopefully that's the right break, right? Because you could also spell break B-R-A-K-E, but that's, I think, like a car brake. Brakes. A brake and a brake are so similar. English. It's powerful, but very dumb. How's my hot chocolate formed a skin on top? No, not yet. Should I change to just chatting? Software and game development gonna get me in trouble? Is this not software and game development? Just being depressed and unmotivated, just sitting and doing nothing for long periods of time. I really wish I could have gotten this microphone to work, because I hate just how warm my ears. Sensory issues. But also I move around too much for a microphone anyway, right? You have to have it like, I'd just constantly be like hitting it. I don't know. Maybe I don't want to gesture like that too often, too much. Also, is it like good to be back here? As it breaks. I've got curtains. I don't know if you can tell, but these are curtains, and they're just covering my wall and half of my window. Why? Because streaming is weird. I didn't want a white wall back here, and also it dampens. It's a little less echoey. Back straight, back straight. If I could just crack my back. Oh, that was a good one. Am I out of focus? Am I moving too much? Is this just too much for you to handle? Tiny Logitech camera, HD 1080p. 1080p was HD back then. Because there's no difference between 1080p and HD 1080p. That's just 1080p was HD at the time, right? Because HD is like 4K. I don't know. Maybe it's still. I don't know. I'm old. Things change. A lot of it's just arbitrary. But it feels important when you're young. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what any of it means. Should be making art. We should be making art, but we're not, 'cause we're not smart. We should be making art. We should be making art. We should be making art, but we are not smart. We don't know how to self-regulate, and so we don't. I don't know. Ugh, my ears. My ears need a break. That's what I'm gonna say. Sorry, guys. My ears need a break, and I'm just gonna go over here and go be right back. Be right back. Okay. Alright, well, I'm back. Did you miss me? No one's here. No one's here to miss me. There are people who miss me somewhere, though. Just not here on Twitch. Not yet. Right? I just gotta keep going. Persevere. Persevere. Show other people, right? You can be depressed. You can be quiet. You can be less successful than everyone else. That's okay. Right? Like, ultimately, I feel like I'm doing this stuff because this is what I'd do if I didn't have to do anything. Right? But also, I don't think I'd do it as much as I'm doing it. Oh no, it's good to I don't know, it's hard. We only have this limited time on this world, right? So it's good to have some sort of get up and go, some reason to like do it today, not tomorrow. Why today and not tomorrow? Why not tomorrow? 'Cause tomorrow's not guaranteed, right? People with a healthy appreciation of that do great things, right? That's Thor in the Dr. K interview, Healthy Gamer GG, and Pirate Software talking together. Thor really values the finite nature of things, or at least he's mentioned it. I think he's a healthy guy, right? He's wise, he's smart, he's incredibly skilled. He's a good guy to be paying attention to. I can't compare myself to him. Can't compare myself to anyone, except I'm gonna. That's the thing, right? That's the thing about being human is that's just part of it. You're gonna compare yourself to others, and you can use it as a tool, but it's if your tools are a burden, then they're not serving you, right? Then you can let them go. You can pick those tools back up later if you need to, right? And that's kind of the practice of me being used to just having all these tools and being so incredibly capable that I'm just only built for burnout, right? As seemingly I'm built to shine bright and shine fast, burn out quick. I don't know how many lives I've lasted this long. Probably a lot. Maybe not. Kind of silly to spend too much time thinking about stuff like that. But in the end, everything's kind of silly. Right? Kind of silly that I'm sitting here alone in my room, talking to nobody, you know, broadcasting myself, recording, posting, archiving me, myself, I, and a blank screen for the sake of a goal. It is for the sake of a goal, right? I am trying to consistently work on something, on anything, just consistently sit down and work for 4 hours, 3 days a week, for 12 hours out of the week. That's all. And already that's been so much time. With this pixel art stuff, I can burn through tasks, but also I'm already getting lazy. I'm starting to not want to do tasks, right? I don't like this cat. I don't want to do more though. It's fine. It's good enough. Ship it. Move on. Imposter syndrome. Imposter thoughts is what I'm having right now. Imposter syndrome is hard, but imposter syndrome is a feature of being capable of greatness. Right? So in order to effectively get better at something, you need to be able to see how you're ineffective, right? In order to get better, you need to be able to see how you're bad, how you could get better, right? You need to be able to be self-critical, right? And those who do not have that ability really struggle to improve because they don't even know they're bad. How can you improve if you don't know you're bad, right? So it's that skill of being able to look at what you've created and think that's bad. That's a skill. That's a feature of having the potential to be great, right? You have the potential to be better. And so that imposter syndrome is an unfortunate byproduct of your ability to be great. Right? That's what it is. And we have it. Thor from Pirate Software has it, and he seems crazy healthy as far as stuff goes, right? He lives clean. He lives basically like a monk, right? He works 16 hours a day every day, right? Some people can do the same thing every day and it helps them to do the same thing every day. I don't know if that's my path. I don't know if it should be my path. Shouldn't be everyone's path, right? We know that much. We know that everyone's path should be at least a little different. And so we stay on meditation break, and we're not working yet. We're not working yet until we can get in a better space. I just work through create space. Creating space involves quietness, involves extended periods of silence. It takes introspection, a lot of acceptance, and a lot of the process of learning to accept. Become aware of something, realize you don't like that thing, become okay with that thing before you can do anything about that thing. Usually, right? It's hard. The Tao Te Ching is full of that kind of stuff where unless you've done a lot of meditating, a lot of it doesn't make sense because it's kind of these weird counterintuitive things where it seems like they contradict themselves or that it's some sort of paradox or weird irony, right? That ceases to make full sense when you try and put it into words, right? That's the thing that meditation will give you, is it gives you a lot of knowledge on things that just stop making sense if once you try and put it into words. But they are profound and they're real, it seems. I think I'm really struggling with the headphones today because I have a bit of a headache. I think that's part of it too. My body is not fully happy, and so I am depressed. Depression is quite nice, though, once you learn certain things. Meditation helps. That's what taught me, at least. Depression is hard because you can't get motivation to do things that you need to do, but it's a nice little vacation from feeling things, right? The thing is, you miss the good feelings too, right? You don't just, right? When you're feeling things, you're wanting the bad feelings to go away. And when you're not feeling things, you miss the good feelings, right? Learn that the good feelings come and go, just like the bad feelings. This too shall end. Every single thing, every single moment, every single concept, every single structure, everything we create, everything we are, everything we do changes. But for now, focusing on the breath seems to be a worthwhile endeavor. A simple thing, right? You're already breathing. You just have to remember that you're breathing. And can you focus on your breath without controlling your breath? I couldn't for a long time. I still can't sometimes. It's very hard not to take control of the things that you're focusing on. It is nice, though, for anyone struggling who happens to find this and be listening to all of this boringness, right? We've been sitting here with me for an hour and a half. Why? No one's gonna follow this. So why do it? Well, perhaps just this action has value. Having me sit in front of a camera and try to explain everything. Clarissa explains it all, right? Joshicus rants a bunch. It needs to be hot. It's not hot anymore. I waited too long. Oh, but it's so chocolatey. Mmm. Mmm. Good chemicals in my brain. I feel it. Mmm. Saturates the tongue. The tongue tells you good job. Drink it. Everything else tells you a good job. And then like 45 minutes later, your tummy's like, no, you didn't do a good job. Right? Yeah, it's interesting how peaceful depression is once you get used to the hopelessness. Right? Like, hopelessness, that's terrible. You should never live without hope. What happens when you have no choice? What happens when you lose sight of hope? What happens when you can't see hope? Some of us lose sight of it sometimes. What about them? Well, you just can't. You just can't lose sight of hope, right? That's their advice. Okay, well, thank you, but I'm actively having this issue where I lose sight of hope, right? Kind of like sometimes I'm not afraid. Sometimes I'm deeply afraid. Sometimes I am full of hope. I struggle with hope. I'm very nihilistic, very pessimistic, right? But nothing matters except kindness. That's how I finally escaped my nihilism, is that nothing matters except kindness. And it does matter. There's no way to argue that kindness doesn't matter. Because when you experience kindness, it fucking matters. It matters. So nothing matters except kindness. That includes being right. Being kind is more important. and being right. The Big Lebowski. Alright? Great movie. Also, there's a single scene in it that is pure wisdom. Right? So there's a point where John Goodman, I forget his character's name, is indignant. He's shouting in the car. He's like, "Am I wrong? Am I wrong?" And then the dude, right? "No, man. You're not wrong. You're just an asshole." And that's it. Right? If you are right and you're letting that rightness drive you to be an asshole, you're going down the wrong path. I know, I went down that path, a lot of those paths. I went down that path a bunch of times, right? When I was young. And it's hard, like Jordan Peterson really hits on these like things that used to really bug me as a teenager. I think that's why I struggle giving him much time of day, because he just reminds me so much of my teenage self, where he is very smart, but he's so unwise, right? And it comes out in his voice. You can hear the sorry, you can hear the need in his voice, where he's smart enough to see how much damage we can do in our ignorance, right? And so we just need to teach everyone that they're wrong, and we need to teach everyone how to be right, and then everyone can be fixed. Right? Like, oh, okay, who what like the line in the Tao Te Ching that comes to mind with that situation is, do you think you can improve the world? I don't think it can be done. The world is sacred. If you try to mess with it, you'll break it. You'll mess it up. You'll lose it. Try to cling to it, you'll lose it. And you can't teach everyone that they're wrong. And yes, a lot of harm is done with people in ignorance, but also a lot of that is people doing things with the belief that they're right. Right? Just like Jordan Peterson is kind of doing, right? He's doing things with the deep belief that he is right. And whether or not he is isn't gonna help. Being cohesive, being kind, is more important than truth, more important than rightness. And maybe you disagree, right? And that's okay. Survival certainly agrees with you. Well, no, so what? Survival actually cares way more about what's useful than what is true, right? And that's the thing, is we're not developed to know what is true and what is false. We're designed to know what is useful and what is not, right? Like believing in God, right? And I don't want to offend anyone who believes in God, but if you don't believe in God and you struggle with people who do, I'll just give you this little thing, right? All right, so having an imaginary friend who's in charge of the universe is an incredibly powerful coping mechanism, right? And so if you have a loved one who believes in God and you just think it's so stupid, right? And it's hard. These are hard feelings, these are hard truths, where we have these people who we deeply respect and love, and they believe they've got imaginary friends, right? They've got this imaginary friend who's in charge of the universe. How sweet, right? Like, this poor person just can't, this is how they get through. Like, you're like, if you don't believe in God, it's harder, right? It is. It's like, how are you okay all the time? Well, I believe in this imaginary guy who really is looking out for me, and he's in charge of the whole thing. He's in charge of all this, right? I might start believing in God again, right? It doesn't fucking matter if it's true or not. That seems, whew, oh. but also you go through like the breakups with God, right? That was one thing that I struggled with my health. Like my medical condition, which is not improved by hot chocolate, by the way. And yet here I am. Well, it's low residue. I'm fucked no matter what I do. That's what it is. And so I just say screw it and I enjoy life. And then I'll really not enjoy it. I don't know, I'm still getting the hang of this very difficult life. It's like all of us, right? Some of us are having a great time. Some of us are doing it right. But a lot of us, man, why did we sign up for hard mode? We signed up for like a no gear run of a Dark Souls game, right? That's what being a human being right now on Earth is like, right? It's hard mode. We're all on hard mode, and it's rough because our parents grew up kind of on easy mode, right? At least mine. I'm old enough to have parents that they did half of the things right, and it all worked out for them. And I did all the things right, and it meant shit. Diddly squat, right? I wouldn't trade in those experiences now, but I don't know. Knowing what I know now, I probably wouldn't go back and do it again. I would probably do something different. I would probably realize that I already know all the things that I need to know. I already know how to teach myself things. I don't need a certificate. I don't need to have teachers telling me what to do. I know what to do. I taught myself how to be a good artist. I live in a world with YouTube, right? With an active, thriving YouTube, right? There was a time where YouTube was new and they didn't have tutorials on everything yet. Should be just chatting. I don't like having my whole face. Don't look at me. Back to this. Yeah. I'm not quite centered. Hopefully that doesn't bug anyone. Go back here. Or actually, we'll move the camera instead of me. 2 more hours. Just counting down the hours. I've had jobs like this. Why did I give myself a job? Because I was excited. I am excited. I'm not. I am too disconnected to feel a lot of excitement right now. I feel suffocated by these headphones. What if we do this? You you can hear my nose. No, you can just hear. This is terrible, huh? Terrible content. Terrible content that no one's gonna watch. It's over here. I don't know. Ah. I was looking on like non earmuff headphones, and they're really expensive, and so I can't get them because I do not have money. might need to. My ears are in a prison of heat. Sensory issues. Why? Why was I given so many sensory issues? If I was distracted, we played a video game, but I'm depressed, so I don't enjoy any video games right now. I'm just trying to find one. I played a bunch yesterday. Yesterday on stream. And it did not go well. I didn't like it. Capitalist Economy Fest. Let's show you guys what's going on. Capitalist. Oh, let's go back to just normal screen. Okay. Oh, my ears. My ears are in a prison. Capitalism and Economy Fest. So, okay, yeah, so it's like sim games. Traveler's Rest. You are an innkeeper. From humble beginnings. It's gonna be like homework. That's the thing. When I'm feeling depressed, and maybe you relate, um, the things you enjoy start to feel like homework used to feel when you were a kid. I don't know. Is that boredom? It's not boredom though. I like being. See, that's one thing. I am different in that I like being bored. I love being bored. I didn't always, though. I used to hate being bored. As a kid, I would do anything, but I was also bored all the time, right? You couldn't help but be bored in the 90s, and probably before that also, right? Just being bored was part of being a kid. And maybe boredom is still part of being a kid, but I think anxiety is a much bigger part of being a kid than being bored. Chillquarium. See, like, this is what I'm talking about. If you're a Sea of Thieves fisherman, there's people who play Sea of Thieves and only fish, which would be cool if you were cool with pirates going up and wrecking you, right? But a lot of them aren't cool. They're like, hey man, I'm just fishing. I'm like, but there's so many games that you can play where you can fish and you won't be tortured by pirates. Is it just me? Go play a game that's all about fishing. Like the fishing mini game in Sea of Thieves is not good. You you deserve better. You can play a game that won't torture you with pirates. Pirates are gonna like the sorry, the metaphor I would say is like fish trying to fish in Sea of Thieves is like taking a stroll through a paintball course, right? It's a beautiful nature walk, except it's in the middle of a paintball course. You're gonna get lit up, and you should expect that that's what's gonna happen if you're wandering through a paintball course. Like, go to a park where people aren't actively throwing projectiles at each other, right? Like, play a game. Okay, sorry. I'll get off my soapbox, and maybe I'll check. Very positive, overwhelmingly positive. I can get the demo. It's also only $5. It's normally $6. Interesting. Interesting. Now I need to go back over here. Okay. Mmm. Mmm. Yum. Chocolate. It's Andy's mince melted into some hot milk. Oh, so good. Okay, one friend already owns this game. Chilling is a cozy and relaxing idle game. Buy fish and raise them in real time, then sell them to turn a profit. Do I want to raise fish? It's chill aquarium, not chill fishing. I see that now. After I went on that whole rant about fishing games, it wasn't even a fishing game. Human beings being human. What a weird, varied experience, and yet how relatable, huh? Endlessly capable of foolishness. We will forever be capable of being a fool, no matter how smart you are, no matter how many moments of genius you've had, no matter how lauded you are. You're still gonna do something stupid every now and then. Lethal Company, Dave the Diver. I like the art for this. Dave the Diver is a casual single player adventure RPG featuring deep sea exploration. It might be too much story. Or too much intent. I want all of the things and none of them. Exactly in the right amounts at all times. Unfailingly. All the time, forever. But also not when I want. Not when I don't not want it. You got that? Is that clear? Is it that hard to create content with those stipulations? I don't know what I want, right? None of us know what we want. Maybe some of us do. Thor seems to know what he wants. Always calling out Thor. I'm gonna be talking to this guy Thor. Thor's gonna be like, "Who the hell? Why is he always talking about me?" Because you are half the reason I'm here. Not the whole reason. You're half of it. Like the 3 days a week, 4 hours a day. That's Thor. Someone asked him, "What should I do with streaming?" You need to at least be doing that. He said. So I'm like, okay, that's the goal. Show up and stream. Even if you're not successful. Even if you don't make any art. Even if you just play games. Hogwarts Legacy. $60. No way I'm paying full price for that. Just don't buy a game at full price anymore. Or no, don't buy a $60 game at full price. $40, $20. If they're trying to cut their prices for you, it's just a much hot. It's a good chance that they're trying to give you bang for your buck. They're trying. Right? Like this. Death Must Die. Death Must Die. $7. $7. Give them $7. Don't give someone else 70. Give 10 studios $7. And those 10 games are going to be a lot better than that one $70 game. That's how it is. Especially just these big titles aren't doing it for me. Nothing's doing it for me right now though. I'm depressed and unmotivated. Moonring is too much. I really want to get into Moonring. Also really don't. No Man's Sky, Gardener. Wonder if Gardener got any updates. Just play Slime Rancher. Just play Slime Rancher. That's what I... Do I even want to play Slime Rancher? Not really. There's too much. I'm too far along. I care about my progress, I think, at this point, and I don't want to. I could start over. Webbed was really good. I highly recommend that one. Kinseed! Kinseed is what it was! I was trying to remember this game the other day, and I couldn't remember it. I just felt some feelings. That was nice. It's so hard not to love video games, right? They may be some form of maladaption, or maybe it's only bad in the quantities that I consume them, right? I consume them I binge, right? I put in 60 hours into Skyrim in the first 3 days that it was out, meaning 60 out of the first 72 hours, 3, 48, 64, 64? No, not 64. 72. Yeah, 70, 72? Ugh. Yeah, I think that's right. 4 hours a day. I slept 4 hours a day for 3 days straight, and then I played Skyrim nonstop. First 3 days it came out, and it's still one of the most fond moments of my life. I look back on it fondly. I remember playing Oblivion so much in college that I went outside and it was dark, and I went like this, because in the game that was the animation that played when you did the light spell. And I did that in real life, expecting my eyes to just and see. And I knew I had been playing too long. But before that, I've had similar experiences, right? You go to a LAN party and you play like a lot of like Battlefield, right? And your eyes are meant to, like, you're seeing landscape and you're pointing out silhouettes, right? You're seeing movement and people, right? And I remember driving home from a LAN party where we played Battlefield 1942 the whole time. And as I was driving home, anytime I saw someone out in the field or anything, my eyes were like tuned in, jacked up, and good to go. Well, okay, so how docs stats? No, not stats. Multiple output, not yet. Stream information. Uh, Mental health day. Back to mental health day. We're just gonna have like 30 mental health days in a row, and eventually I'll make a game. Well, no, I'll be excited. When I get a new thing, right? I get a new thing to chew on, a new puzzle. So I don't know. It's hard to explain how the muses work within each person, right? Each person is different. Each moment is different. Each person is different in every moment. I don't know. I will. It will be much easier to do level design when it's time to do level design, because I haven't been doing level design recently, right? That's the hard part, is new things are novel. Novel things are fun, right? And alright, to play. Oh, am I gonna have to do that streamy thing so I can use a controller? Probably. Uh, why Why don't I have just one more? I just need one more USB drive. One more port, USB port. Rogue tower, that was fun. Diplomacy is not an option, that was okay. Okay, let's get rid of you and let's do Kinseed. Struggling. Okay. Are we gonna use the mouse and keyboard? I think we're gonna try and use the controller because I'm an old man who has arthritis or carpal tunnel. Carpal tunnel. Is that which one? I don't know. There we go. Kinseed. So, oh, see, Sprite's still running. Let's close you. Let's save you. We'll save you. Bring you up here. Close you, actually. Oh, wait, no, I don't want to close you. Dang it. Okay. Can. Okay, so. Seed. This computer install. And now we can. What if I click it down here? Oh, man. Anyone want to come give me a nice massage? Just in the back. I don't need any funny bits touched, but just my shoulders. Oh. Maybe bring some ketamine. I should look that up. I have a cousin who's been recommending ketamine to me for a very long time. Not because he's a ketamine addict, but because he's a nurse and he knows things like this. So maybe ketamine would help, and maybe I could get a hold of some ketamine somehow. And maybe it would lead to my downfall. It's kind of loud. I wonder if y'all can hear that. Oof, that's not ideal. Pixel Count Studios. Let's exit. And let's instead this computer bring you up here, bring you down here. Gonna change the display capture to you. And we're gonna, oh wait, no, we don't want to we're just gonna one screen it, I think. Or can I just get rid of, oh! Oh no! Oh no! OBS, where'd you go? OBS, come back! Okay. No! Do I have to restart OBS? Camera! I unplugged the wrong one. Is it you? Or was that the right one? Oh, yep, it was that one. Okay. Oh, goodness. Can I double click on you? Oh, no, camera. Okay. Nope. Don't know if I want you all to see this, but what if I just close OBS? Does that stop streaming? No one's here to worry about, right? I'm gonna lose all 0 of my viewers if I stop streaming right now. Well, hopefully someone, if you are here, I will be right back.